Welcome back. Today we have two Am I the A-hole stories. Thank you to Beyond Beautiful and Two Hot Takes for providing the stories.
Am I the for refusing to babysit while family goes on vacation? My aunt is retiring. She made plans to go on a cruise, a 3-day stay in Hawaii, and then back. All her adult children are going. They invited our side of the family, and nobody told me. I'm not on Facebook, which is the only place that they communicate. They have my phone number, and no one asked me though. My entire family made plans for weeks to go. They made accommodations and bought tickets and everything. No one mentioned it to me in all that time. You're automatically not the and I'm not even done. Like, automatically, no, your family, for sure. Finally, it's a week away, and I bring it up to my family at our parents' house about how I hope my aunt has a fun time and if I should get her a gift, etc. My sister says yes, grab her something and we'll give it to her on the cruise. This is the first time that I'm hearing about them going. They said they assumed it was because I was staying to watch the babies for them. My cousin's 3-year-old and my sister's 2-year-old and twin infants. They got the game up. No, absolutely not. I feel like they didn't specifically tell me so that I'd be the only person not going and they could try to force all the kids on me. Well, I told them no thanks, and I said that I still had time to make accommodations and to come too because I would like to go. I honestly didn't want to go after feeling left out like that, but I figured maybe it was really an accidental issue of me being left out and they wouldn't mind. I took the time off work, and then my cousin, who was coordinating the entire thing, texted me saying that she was so sorry, but there was no space left and she only secured enough for everyone that RSVP'd and the cruise was already sold out. But I was welcome to fly out and hang with everyone in Hawaii if I could find my own accommodations. But since everyone planned on me taking the kids, I need to find childcare first. Okay, your family's absolutely insane. What? No, no. I told her nobody even called me to discuss me taking their kids. She didn't reply. Nobody was. So since I had already taken the time off, my boyfriend, adult son, and I decided to take our own vacation. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Beat them at their own game. We packed up the day before my family left and took off for a week-long vacation states away. I purposely didn't tell anybody. Period. Because y'all are about to bully me and guilt me into watching your kids. Like, I can't. I'm on vacation. I already left. My vacation started before yours. My bad. Yo bad, actually. I started getting calls the next morning as everyone was coming to my house expecting to drop off their kids. I didn't answer. I refused their calls and ignored their messages the whole trip. We had a fantastic time and made great memories. When I got back, my family was furious. They said multiple people had to drop out of the trip and couldn't get their money back because they couldn't find last minute childcare. It must suck to suck. Like, what? I couldn't go on my trip because the person that I didn't ask to watch my kids refused to watch my kids. I told them that that's too bad and that sucks so much. They should have arranged something before they left. I reminded them that no one ever set anything up with me, and since I already had the time off, I decided to enjoy that time with my family. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but I never offered to watch anyone's kids. You all assumed I would because you didn't invite me to keep me free to watch them. You didn't coordinate. I had other plans. That's how it works. My cousin thinks I'm being a complete that this isn't how family treats each other. I need your. She said it was an accident that no one told me, but that it's not her fault. She assumed that I had been told and assumed that I'd be okay with having the kids because I had had them before with discussion and coordination. Her assumptions is what makes it her fault. Because who the drops their kids off at someone's house without previously talking to them about when they're going to be dropping the kids off, for how long they're going to be dropping the kids off, and when the you come back to get them? Like, who does that? She's saying that I'm lucky they didn't call the police on me for child abandonment. For real. Child abandonment because they expected me to be home and able to care for them. I told her that that's ridiculous. You can't assume and expect things without my permission and input. You can't report me to the police for not wanting to care for your babies. Was I being an for all of this? Should I have just kept things peaceful and spent time with the kids since I got the time off anyway? No. No, not at all. No. I could have done some fun things with them, but I really didn't want to. My house is not childproof, and I honestly don't really enjoy spending time with kids. Yes, I had my own, but I'm not really a kid person, and he's an adult now. Those days are behind me. I'm not very interested in reliving them with other people's kids. None of that actually matters. None of that matters. They did not ask you to watch their kids. They purposely left you out of a situation that you so that you would have no choice but to watch their kids. None of this makes you that. You did what you needed to do to make sure that they understood that it's not okay. You're not going to pull one over on me. You tried it, but no, like absolutely not. You are not that situation. And I couldn't have handled it better myself.
I'm going to have to agree with Beyond Beautiful. Your family didn't tell you or ask you to watch their kids. It's not your fault that you had other plans or made other plans, and you didn't want to watch their kids. They should have told you at the beginning of them making plans to go on vacation. They should have asked you to watch their kids or got their own babysitter. So, yeah, you are not the a-hole.
Am I the for covertly losing weight as a bridesmaid and refusing to be set up with her friend after overhearing the bride call me fat? My 30 female friend Kate's 30 female wedding was last weekend. We went to grad school together but haven't seen each other in person in about 2 years, though we FaceTime and kept up enough since then enough to where she invited me to be in her wedding. However, a large part of this is that her fiance, Kyle, 30 male, has 8 groomsmen and she needed enough people. About 6 months before the wedding, the bridesmaids were all talking in a group chat on Discord, and I overheard Kate, who must have thought she was on mute or that her voice wouldn't carry, rather snidely turn to Kyle and say that I would, quote, round out the group because I would be a good, quote, counterweight to her fiance's friend Tim. The idea being that Tim and I were both obese. When she moved back towards the mic and said something about not being on mute, I acted like I couldn't hear anything and said something like, yeah, you were really far away. You sounded like you were underwater. I couldn't hear you. Ugh. I had been planning on losing weight anyways, but I lost 35 pounds of fat in 6 months and put on 4 pounds of muscle, largely out of spite.
Yes, we love it. That is the definition of revenge body.
I've always hated pictures of myself and don't maintain social media, so it wasn't outside the norm for no one to see me. As soon as I knew what my plan was, I ordered a size down in my bridesmaid's dress and then had it tailored in a little more. I wore the tightest Lululemons I could find when I met everyone at the hotel the day before, and seeing the visceral shock on Kate's face was priceless.
That's amazing.
At the wedding, I still walked in with Tim, but he was a bit stiff and awkward around me, which I attributed to nerves or just not caring for strangers. Later, after enough alcohol had been passed around, the truth finally came out that Kate wanted to set me up with Tim, which I refused. And before she was 86th, Kate said, quote, you're not supposed to be skinnier than me. You're upstaging me at my own wedding.
There it is.
We didn't have a knockdown, drag-out fight, and it wasn't particularly dramatic, but apparently the other bridesmaids and groomsmen got the impression that I had somehow been a bitch to Tim, and that it was shitty of me to refuse a date with him. Kate and I haven't spoken since the reception, during which I said congratulations and essentially ghosted after things went south. And now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm the
That is a good question, honestly, for this situation. You're definitely not the for losing weight. That's amazing. For not telling anyone. You don't need to tell anyone. Like, that's like
life and body.
Your body, your choice, girly. Also, saying no to the date. You can say no to any date you want. That is all you, girl. Were you rude to him is my question. Because, like, you should treat everyone kindly. So it's like, I wonder if people's perception of her was skewed from the bride being a bridezilla.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
I'm going to say you're not the a-hole. You wanted to lose weight to prove a point and actually for yourself. You don't have to go on a date with anybody you don't want to. And your friend shouldn't make you go on a date with somebody you don't want to. Doesn't matter what he looks like or who he is. You have that right to say no. As long as you weren't rude to him, then they have no reason to be mad at you for that. And for her to get mad because you weigh less than her, that's uncalled for. That's not a friend. You're not the a-hole.